Welcome back. It is Wednesday, October 11th, and the MLB. Our four favorite picks are on the way, including two 1.5 unit plays. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. Not a great day. Back-to-back bad days. Let's talk about an 0-2. Nothing too catastrophic. We've still profitable on the postseason. Orioles money line, they just did not stand a chance. Dean Kramer got rocked. The Orioles got swept for the first time this season. A crazy outcome in that series. Then Sonny Gray over 14.5 outs. Looked terrible after the first inning. It was like chalk. He gave up 4 earned runs. Then it was looking great. He came into the fifth. They were like, well, we're already down 4-0. We'll throw you out there. Could not record an out in his first 3 guys, and they had to take him out. Like, the guy doesn't get an out in the fifth. You got to take him out. Other way, an 0-2 day. Not exactly what we want to do, but we really like the slate today. This is probably our last, 3-game slate that we might see. But either way, we really like our picks we got going your way today. Before we do dive into it, on our second channel, we did post our Rays playoff game. So if you want to go check that video out, definitely go do it. It will be linked at the end of this one and in the comment section down below. And of course, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, drop a like. Logan, I'm going to let you lead it off with a 1.5 unit play in the Astros game. Who are you going with in that one?
I have 1.5 units on a money line. I'm taking the Astros money line plus 108 odds on FanDuel. Currently your best value there. Yeah, you can ask yourself, why are we putting 1.5 units? Because I have 2 plus value plays at 1.5 units. I am pretty confident that I split at least one of them. If I go 0-2 and I'm down 3 units, well then I made a mistake. Just like picking the Orioles yesterday, I made a mistake when I watched Dean Kramer host the home run derby. I was just like, what did I do? But as I mentioned, though, the Twins let the Astros get hot in this series. Something that is inevitable in the postseason are the Astros. They are annoying. You love them, you hate them. They're here, and they are playoff performers. This is what they do. They just go about their business. If you saw before the game yesterday, they were loose, having fun. I think Altuve was playing on his phone. Things like that just tell you how seriously they're taking the Twins, aka not very seriously, because they know they belong in the ALCS, and I think this is the game they close it out. We're getting plus value on the Astros because Urquidy is the weakest member of the Astros rotation, and that's probably the only reason why we're getting plus value. And also because they're on the road, and maybe the books value the Twins not getting not getting swept at home specifically to close out this series. But I really do think the Astros are the better team, and they're going to show it today. Joe Ryan starts for the Twins, 8.1 ERA and a 1.1 WHIP against the Astros this season specifically. The Astros have had his number. So what the heck makes me think things are going to change in postseason baseball? We know Joe Ryan loves to use his fastball. That means Astros hitters can look fastball and try to time that. And they're already a good team at hitting off speed. You saw what they did to Sonny Gray yesterday. Oh my gosh. Like, Sonny Gray hadn't allowed a home run on a sweeper since like July of 2022, they said on the broadcast. Yeah, no, they were sitting sweeper and just putting it in the stands. It was incredible to see, and it reminded you of what the Astros can do when they are clicking, and why fading them is probably not a good idea. If Ryan doesn't have command of his secondary pitches as well, it's going to be another Sonny Gray repeat, because then he's going to have to rely very heavy on his fastball or walk players. And I think we'll definitely see Joe Ryan struggle in this one. The Astros hitters are heating up. Let's look at their playoff averages. You got Yordan Alvarez, 6 for 12, hitting 500 with 4 home runs in the playoffs. Unreal. You got Jose Altuve hitting 308. You got Abreu heating up as well, hitting 250 with 2 home runs. He's been a really key bat for them. You've got Bregman, hitting 273 with a home run. All these Astros hitters have been in the playoffs before. They've had experience, and this is no stranger to them. As a team, Houston's hitting 286 in the playoffs. They want to close it out today and not have to go back to Houston for a game 5. And they definitely want to take care of business, and this is a veteran team that I think does that today. Now the question is, can they get good enough pitching out of Jose Urquidy? 5.29 ERA and a 1.43 WHIP for Urquidy. He's not my favorite pitcher to back at all. I actually probably don't ever really try to back him. But Urquidy faced the Twins back in April. He went 5 1/3 innings pitched, only allowed 1 earned run, so a decent start there. And plus, he faces a Twins team that really, they're kind of like the Orioles. They remind me a lot of the Orioles, actually, because they're slumping in a bad time. You need to have the bats absolutely clicking, and the Twins are only hitting 219 in the playoffs. They got pretty lucky that they somehow faced a worse offense in Toronto in their first series. Now they have to go blow for blow with the Astros. Even if Urquidy isn't sharp, he'll have a strong bullpen behind him, and I think they're not going to give him all that long of a leash. But I mean, why would you? If you can secure this game, then you don't even have to worry about the next game. And I think that Houston's going to do that. Houston has a top 5 bullpen in the regular season, and they finished the game really strong yesterday. I really liked, what I've been seeing from the Astros bullpen. And Minnesota has a good bullpen as well, but the offense I want to back right now is the Houston Astros. Knowing the Rangers are on deck with, in the ALCS, I think the Astros want to waste any time setting up the Battle of Texas in the ALCS, which should be a really good series. I think Astros take care of business today, and I think they close out the Twins. But Austin, where are you going for your pick?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Dodgers game, and I'll let you touch on your other 1.5 unit play after this one. But I'm going to the Dodgers taking their team total over 2.5 runs in the first 5 innings, which is currently minus 115 on PointsBet. Personally, I played up to about minus 140. I think this is a great price for it. I think the bats are going to have to show up today. You got Lance Lynn pitching for you. You need your bats to show up. Because obviously, if they lose this game, just like the Orioles, they're sending home. And I think they're going to show up today. Now, if you are in FanDuel, you don't have a first 5, team total. My pivot would be the Dodgers plus 1.5 in the first 5, and the over 3.5 runs in the first 5 innings. That's about minus 122. A little bit of a FanDuel first 5 SGP. I think that cashes, assuming the Dodgers score 3 runs themselves. I don't think Lance Lynn is throwing, a shutout. And I also think he gives up 5 earned runs, which would make that one a tough one to hit. But let's talk about Brandon Pfaadt, who's going to start for this for the D-backs today. And look, he just has not been good really at home or versus the Dodgers, and that's both of which are true today. You look at Pfaadt has a 6.46 ERA and a 1.63 WHIP at home this season. He's allowed 3 earned runs or more in 7 of 10 home starts, and he owns a 9.35 ERA and a 2.08 WHIP versus the Dodgers in 2 outings. So he just has not been that great. He went 8 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 9 earned runs in their 2 starts against them, and they've just seen him well. Have like a batting average at 350, a 400 batting average on balls in play. They just hit him well, and he hasn't got a ton of strikeouts either, not missing bats. We saw already in his one postseason start, we faded him in that one. He went 2 2/3, went 7 hits and 3 earned runs. Now that he has the pressure on him, to try to close out the series, you don't want to give the Dodgers 1, because what does 1? Then it maybe turns into 2, and then you're going back to LA for a game 5. They obviously want to try to close it out here, so I don't think he has a long leash, but still, this guy, 3rd percentile in barrel percentage, 16th in hard hit percentage, only 8th in ground ball percentage. So he's not missing a ton of bats, and when he's getting hit, he's getting hit hard, and this is a hitter-friendly ballpark in Phoenix. So I think at the end of the day, you look at his other props. Pfaadt's earned runs line sitting at 2.5, which is about plus 120. His over 1.5 was minus 180 last night, and then his over 12.5 outs is plus 120. So they do not expect him to go too far into this game. You also look at Pfaadt allowed 22 home runs and only 96 innings pitched last year. I think the guys like Mookie Betts, who have great splits, Freddie Freeman, they'll be on base. It comes down to the other guys like the JD Martinez, the Max Muncies of the world. They have really low home run odds. I think one of them sends one deep. Let's just hope that it's against Pfaadt and it's against this in this first 5, and I think we get a great chance I cash this one. It will be a popular one, but I really do think the Dodgers are going to get us 3 runs through the first 5 innings. This will be my first pick of the day. But Logan, your second 1.5 unit play, you're going to Philadelphia. Who are you taking in that one?
I am. I'm going to the Braves versus Phillies game, and you can like it or love it or hate it even. I'm taking the Braves on the money line, plus 110 odds on Caesars, currently your best value there. Logan, how are you picking against your Phillies? Well, because I let my head do the picking and my heart do the rooting on for my teams. The way Atlanta snatched game 2 and snatched my heart will undoubtedly carry momentum into game 3. I don't care what you want to say. You want to say, well, Citizens Bank Park will be rocking. That's true. It's probably the best playoff atmosphere out there. But the players on the field decide the game, and I know what I saw. My eyes saw what I saw, and I was so upset by it, because the one thing you couldn't do if you were the Phillies is wake up the sleeping offense that was the Braves. What exactly did they do? They woke them up, and that was just terrible. Now, who's starting for the Phillies today? It's going to be Aaron Nola. And the people that are backing the Phillies, you have to understand here, you are really counting on Aaron Nola to be something he hasn't been most of the year, and that's consistently good. Aaron Nola, 3.29 ERA and a 0.97 WHIP at home. You look at Nola, 3.5 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP versus Atlanta this year. Those are okay numbers, right? Now the question is, do I trust him when back against the wall to be, like Wheeler? Wheeler pitched so well for so long into that game until he didn't, and the Braves really struggled to hit fastballs against Zach Wheeler. When the Phillies pitchers threw off speed, they were drilled for home runs. This was the observation that anyone watching that game could understand. You were throwing fastballs. The Braves could not time up the fastballs at all. Threw them off speed. That's exactly what they had timed up, and they put them in the seats. Noah's fastball, the thing that I said is the Braves' weakness, is 24th percentile in velocity compared to Zach Wheeler's 77th percentile in velocity. You look at opponents, they're hitting 279 against Noah's sinker and 249 against his fastball this season. Go back to last season when Noah, to me, was a lot better, more consistent pitcher. Opponents hit 176 against his sinker and 197 against his fastball. That's a huge difference right there. You can see if he's not getting his fastball working and he's having to rely on secondary pitches against the Braves, that's just not a good recipe at all. When Noah mixes in his curveball and changeup, because those are some of his other secondary pitches, he better not miss with those. You have to be so perfect against those, because if he's missing with those, I'm telling you right now, it will be Braves, and it will be Braves no sweat, and it will snatch the soul of Philadelphia right there on the spot, because he has to pitch perfectly to me. Noah isn't as good as his ERA suggests as well. I still don't trust him to miss bats. You look at Aaron Noah on the year, 41st percentile in barrel percentage. So he's getting barreled up a lot. 54th percentile in hard hit percentage. He's sort of getting hit hard. And 48th percentile in whiff percentage. Isn't getting the whiff, the swing and a miss. All of that consistently. I don't know how you look at those numbers and you say, yes, it matches the ERA. I just think he's one of those anomaly type pitchers where I know what my eyes are telling me, and I know he could be and probably will be in a world of trouble today after correcting, for their lack of production in game one. The Braves offense will be ready to hit in game three. It's not even a bold prediction. They were historic during the regular season for a reason, and you woke them up in game two. You made a mistake. Now, starting for the Braves will be either Smith-Shawver or Bryce Elder. It's looking like it might be Smith-Shawver. I don't really care. I'm picking this game without a Braves starting pitcher because I actually look at these guys both in the same light. There's not an edge for either of them. You look at Smith-Shawver, 4.26 ERA, and he never faced Philly, so there's no familiarity there. If he goes out, he'll probably have a short leash. You got Bryce Elder, 3.81 ERA. In 2 games versus Philly, Bryce Elder had a 3.38 ERA, so he pitched well versus them in the regular season. So if it's either of those, I'm fine, and they'll likely have a short leash anyway. 3 to 4 innings pitched probably for both those guys. They're not going to let them go deep into this game. And if they do face them a second time through the lineup, they're probably going to really be watching them closely and yank them at any sign of danger. Atlanta's bullpen did a great job rescuing Max Fried in game 2. Both bullpens in this one are very similar. You look at Atlanta's bullpen, actually, they have a 0 ERA. Philly has a 2.38 ERA. What's going to be the difference in this one? I told you, I think it's going to be the Braves bats. I think they're going to put pressure on Philly in this one. It's weird because, you would think, oh, the pressure is still on the Braves. They were the better regular season team. No, everyone's just assuming the Phillies come back home, and this is a game they have to have with Aaron Nola on the mound. I'm telling you, this series has 5 games written all over it. The Braves will win at least one in Philadelphia. I'll take a shot at this one at plus 110 value. It's just way too generous from the books, and I'm going to go ahead and take that one for 1.5 units. But Austin, where else are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to wrap up the video with a player prop, one that is kind of a niche bet. So I'll only be putting a half unit on it, but let's talk about it because I'm going to go to the Houston Astros in that series against the Twins. I'm taking Yordan Alvarez, taking his over 0.5 batter walks, which is plus 100 on DraftKings. Only playing this for a half unit because 1, I've never really done any walks props, and 2, it's not necessarily a prop that every single book offers. But I'll talk about it real quick. I mean, look, Logan already talked about Yordan Alvarez. He's been scorching hot. I mean, the guy's absolutely just crushing the baseball. If the Twins want to pitch to him today, go for it. I just don't think that's something they really have much incentive to do. If there is no one on base, I wouldn't be surprised if they walk him. It's not like Yordan's going to go out there and steal bases or anything like that. So I think at the end of the day, they're going to walk him at least once or twice here today because the guy's been scorched earth. And he also is a good guy at drawing walks in general. Before, we getting intentionally walked or anything like that, still 93rd percentile walk percentage, 13.9%. He, like Logan said, 6 for 12 in this series, 4 home runs, 2 doubles in. If you want to count yesterday's error that I wound up with him on second, maybe even you would have more doubles than that. So this is a guy that He doesn't get a ton of singles. He's the guy that's putting the ball against the back of the wall. It's either hitting the back of the wall or it's not even hitting anything. It's going into the stands as a souvenir. I just do not see any incentive to pitch to him a ton. They'll still pitch to him in what I would assume, but I think it's going to be a lot of outside fastballs or things in the dirt, just trying to get him to chase at something. Jordan is not a guy that chases a ton. I think this is a good spot to take him to just get a walk. Could get one walk. We've seen other guys get 5 walks like Corey Seager. The Orioles pitched all around him in a must-win game for the Twins. I just don't think they can leave the bat and say, hey, leave the bat in Jordan's hand and say, hey, you go beat us. He's already shown that. He's already done that this whole series long. He's absolutely scorched earth. I think he walks at least once today at plus 100. I'll take a stab at it only for a half unit because it is a little bit of a, dart throw bet. It's not a bet, I love putting 1 unit on, but if it's a half unit, wins us back a half unit at plus 100, I'll take our chances there. So those are going to be our 4 favorite picks of the day. I think we got a 4-0 card, a couple 1.5 unit plays, a little of the Dodgers team total over, and we got that Jordan Alvarez just half unit on his walk. Let's have a day. Let's go 4-0. Win back some of the units that we lost the past couple days. Really love the card today. Enjoy watching some postseason baseball. Probably the last day we have 3 games on, but it's Austin Logan. We're signing out. If you want to go check out that Rays playoff video, definitely go show it some love. I really like how the video turned out. Go show it some love. It is linked on the screen. Austin Logan signing out. We will see you guys back again tomorrow with some more picks. We'll see you then. Peace.